Hey, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the locker room. And today we're going to go over the process of cleaning cards and, how to, if you got any type of gunk or fingerprints or anything of that nature on your cards, how to clean them up. Um, so when I first got into collecting cards, I started to think about, you know, well, how do you clean, cards? I know more than likely you aren't supposed to put any type of solution on them or chemicals or anything of that nature. But at the same time, I didn't know. So I started searching around YouTube looking for videos that kind of go through the process. And it's not a lot of videos out there, but there were a couple that I found to be good. So shout out to those guys. I'll post those channels in the description. So shout out to PSA Collector and shout out to Certified Sports Cards. So yeah, so let's get into the process. So it's pretty much two different processes. And before before we actually get into the process, I understand a couple things. First, you don't want to just jump into trying to clean something that you really find valuable. So, look at the video, go to PSA Collectors video, go to Certified Sports Cards video, watch the video a couple of times, then find some cards that you really don't have a whole bunch of values, cards that you don't care about, and practice. That's practice the process. That's what I did. I've already done this a couple of times, so I know it works, but I still haven't did it on a card. I'm expecting to get a gem mint 10 that I'm sending off to PSA, so I haven't did it on any cards that I'm sending off yet. I want to practice a couple times and get it down, so that it's a process that I'm comfortable with, and yeah. So just want to make sure you're comfortable with the process. So as far as that is concerned, like I said, go check those guys' channel out. Watch the video a couple times, practice on some cards that you really don't care about, and get the process down. Now, as far as supplies, from what I've seen, it's pretty simple as far as supplies. Paper towel, and we'll get into why the paper towel is a good thing to have. Microfiber cloths, if you have them. If you don't have a microfiber cloth, I've seen people use, you call them little makeup pads. You pretty much just don't want to use anything that'll, scratch the surface. And be careful with some microfiber cloths because some of them can be a little rigid and could possibly scratch up your cards. If you don't have a microfiber cloth, at first what I was using, I just cut up a t-shirt. Just cut it up into like a little square, and I actually used that. And then some water. Now, about the water, you don't have to use the water. It's just something I found to be helpful, and like I said, I got that from Certified Sports Cards. So you can again go check out his video, and like I said, really get the process down before you start doing anything valuable. Now, as far as the water is concerned, you only want to use the water on like the foil cards, like this one I have, like the Prisms, the NBA Hoop premium stock, things of that nature. For the regular cards, you don't really have to use water. So things like NBA Hoops, regular stock, and Don Russ, you don't have to use water, but we'll get into what you could actually use for that. So yeah, let's get into the video. So let's go back to the regular stock cards. So now I've gotten in the habit of actually wearing gloves now when I rip packs, just because of what I'm about to show you. So naturally when you're ripping packs, you kind of hold it like that. So a lot of times the fingerprints are going to be here, you know, somewhere here in this area, and then maybe at the top of, you know, depending on how you rip it. If you pulling from here, if you pulling from here, if you're a lefty and you pulling from here. So you're going to clean the whole card, but, you know, just a couple of key areas that you want to look at is, you know, it's like a triangle, like right there. So if you look at this card, see how, like right there, you can see like fingerprints. It's kind of hard to see, but kind of with a light shining at his fingerprints. And kind of in the middle right there is something. And then like right there where my finger is, you can see, you know, fingerprints. So that's what we're gonna, you know, clean up and see if we can get this card looking like a Gem Mint 10. Only if it could be, huh? Alright, so for these type of cards, it's simple. You're gonna just blow on the card, create some kind of condensation on the card, and you're gonna take your microfiber cloth and you're just gonna gently insert in a circular motion, just wipe it off. The way you're gonna, before you blow on the card, the way that you wanna hold, you wanna lay the card down on a paper towel. You're gonna take the end of the paper towel and this is how you're gonna hold the card down while you're going your circular motion. And notice the end of the card isn't getting snagged because you have all of this room in between your fold. All right, so that's how you're gonna hold it. And with condensation on the card, you're gonna take the microfiber cloth and just in circular motions clean it. All right, so I'm gonna blow on the card. Gonna lay the card down. Gonna hold it down, and then I'm just gonna lightly circular motion wipe the card off. And you're gonna do that a couple times. And you really want to focus on the areas where you see the fingerprints or whatever it is that you see on the card. Alright, so following that process, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to flip the card and get the other side. Same thing, put the card down and gently wipe. You want to be as gentle as possible, especially if you're cleaning anything that you deem to be valuable. That's the front of the card, and the same process is done on the back of the card. So let's take a look at this. Did we get, we saw fingerprints and things in the top. Like I said, it's kind of like a triangle. So let's see if those fingerprints are gone. I don't see anything on this side. I don't see anything at the top. And I don't see anything on this side where you can kind of see the light shining. So it looks like it cleaned it up pretty good. All right. So let's take a look at another one. And so this is another regular base. So if you look where the light is shining at, you can see like a fingerprint. Again, in the same areas where, again, with that triangle area where you usually kind of ripping when you rip the pack. See how you can see fingerprints right there with the light. like right here. Alright. So let's go ahead and clean this one off. Again, blow on the card, create that condensation. Place the card down, create your fold, take your microfiber, and gently going to blow on again, rotate it, and do the same thing. Fold, and then we wipe it. Circular motion again, be very gentle. Alright. Alright, so let's take a look at it, see if we see any of those fingerprints. I don't see any in the areas we saw them before. Alright. Now, once you clean the card, you know, if it's a card that's in a sleeve and a top loader, you know, once you take it out and you clean it, do not put it back in that same top loader, all right, or sleeve. So you want to get a brand new sleeve, and a brand new top loader. Once you clean the card, all right, because over time, top loaders and it just collects dust depending on where you're storing your cards. Now, I for one try not to leave my cards out or my sleeves or my top loaders. I usually try to, you know, cover them up in a box or something, just because naturally dust and stuff, it just naturally floats around. So once you have it cleaned, you store it, whether you're going to put it in a graded bag or in a box somewhere. You know, once you have it clean, store it away. Do not leave it out, because you're just going to create the same environment which had you kind of cleaning it in the first place. It'll collect dust and things of that nature. All right. All right, so now let's move on to the foil type cards. All right. So as far as the foil type cards, you can use the same process, and I'll go through the process as far as what we just did with the regular stock. But there's also something you can do with a little bit of water that kind of, you know, helps as well. So let's go through the process on this one, and again, let's identify the areas. See if we can see some of the areas. So like right here, you can kind of see fingerprints. Again, always check those key areas, you know, where when you're ripping packs, kind of where your thumb is. If you look over here, you can kind of see, I don't know if it's a fingerprint or something, like right there, right here. Yeah, it might be a fingerprint. I know these cards sometimes they have like, I don't even know what it's called, but I think I have one up there that I'm going to show you in a little bit. Some type of gunk on them. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it's the film that kind of over time gets bad or something. I'm not sure, but we'll see if we can get that off as well. So yeah, let's go through the same process that we just did with the regular stock, and see if that gets some of this fingerprint residue off. Again, blow on the card, place the card down, create your fold, microfiber, and then circular motions. and clean it up. And like I said, you're going to clean the whole card, but again, make sure you get the areas where you identified the fingerprints to be. So I'm going to flip the card, do the same thing. Create my fold, hold it down, and do the same circular motions. And I know you see me wiping away. Always wipe away from the card. But the circular motions by itself are good enough. So let's take a look at this card now. You don't see any fingerprints. So like I said, that the process works on both types of cards. I still see something right there. So I'm going to see if I can get that off. I don't know if that's part of the card. It doesn't look like a fingerprint. I'm not sure. Let me see if I can get that off. So I'll just focus on that area. Do my fold again. And voila, it's gone. And as far as the bubbles that you see in the film, from what I know, what I've seen, there's really nothing you can do about that. I think that's just how the card is. Maybe that's something I'll have to search. I haven't seen anything on YouTube or any processes about how you can get that out, but I'll search around and see if I can find something. All right, so let's get into the second process. Now, in this card, if you look at the top of it, like in this area, there's some type of, it's not fingerprints, some type of gunk. I'm not sure what it is, but see that? I'm not sure what it is. But we're going to see if we can get it off using the water. Alright? Alright, so it's pretty much the same process. The only difference is you're applying a little bit of water. Alright? So the water is kind of the same as the condensation when you're blowing on the card, but it's just a little bit more liquid. Alright? So all we're going to do is now, for this part of the process, I'm actually going to use the t-shirt instead of the microfiber. And as far as the t-shirt, you can use it the same way that you use the microfiber, or you can put it, on your finger like this, and, just with your circular motion with your finger. Alright? So like I said, it's the same process. All I'm going to do this time is take a couple of drops of water, and then do the same process. Not a lot of water, just a couple drops. Create my fold, and then I'm going to do the same. So I think that is part of the card because it's not coming off. Or maybe it's something you really gotta work. Yeah, so that's not coming off. So I think it's just part of the card. See, it's right here too. I don't know if you can see it, but like right in this area. So yeah, I think that's part of the card. But I'm gonna try a little bit more water and see. Yeah, see how you can see it real good here. Yeah, that's part of the card. So I initially thought it was like some type of gunk or something, but nah, it's definitely part of the card. But again, as far as cleaning the card, I did get all of the fingerprints out of it. So I have to look and see, is there any other type of process that we can use. Now hopefully I haven't seen this on a lot of cards. I definitely haven't seen it on anything that, in my collection that I deem valuable, so that's a good thing. But I did notice it on a couple other cards. Not as bad as that one. That's probably the worst that I've seen. Alright, so if we take a look at this Tobias Harris, again, the key areas, that triangle area, you kind of see fingerprints. Like right there, see that? So let's go ahead and clean this one up, again using the water. Create my fold. Grab my t-shirt and just again circular motions. Again, I have to stress you like you're not using a whole bunch of water, just a couple drops. And when using a t-shirt, you do kind of, because it'll get a little damp. You don't want to leave smears. So once you go a couple times with the circles, go ahead and switch spots. A dry spot. I'm gonna flip the card. Do the same thing. Again, create my fold. Couple of drops. Just spread the water around. Once you have it spread it around, back to your t-shirt. Just use, again, light, gentle, circular motions. Do that a couple times. get a dry spot on your t-shirt, and you're pretty much at this point just making sure you absorb all the water that's on the card. You don't want it to sit on the card. Alright, let's take a look at this one, and as you can see, cleaned up pretty good. No fingerprints. Alright. Now the back of these cards, again, you don't need to use any water. You can just use the condensation by blowing on the card. Alright, and again, I stress, once you clean it up, do not. Now I'm just showing you this. This is just a regular base Tobias Harris, but once you clean it up, put it in a new sleeve. And a new top loader. Alright. Alright. And you got a clean card. You don't see any dust, no fingerprints. At all, it looks perfect. No fingerprints, no dust in the top loader and the sleeve. All right, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the process. Like I said, definitely practice a couple times. I'm pretty sure if you're a collector or if you rip packs, you have plenty of base cards that you can practice on. Check out the description. I'll post PSA collectors and certified sport card channel. I'll post those links in the description. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So again, this is something I wanted to bring to you all because it's something that I searched for when I first started collecting. So I appreciate you watching. If you like, instructional videos of this nature, please feel free to like the video, subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out a lot, helps the channel out. And feel free to check out some of my other videos. I've opened up a few products. Subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified when we post content. And again, I appreciate y'all time, appreciate y'all watching, and I'm out.